Hey guys, if you've been lifting every week, running every week, and you're not getting stronger and you're not getting faster, problem most likely is not your effort. The problem is that you're trying to do everything all at once. You're trying to progress both all at the same time. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how a hybrid athlete should be progressing week over week. And I'm even going to break it down into a simple to read flow chart that you can check out later in the video. In my last video, we laid out a hybrid beginner structure framework to follow that basically gets you started, right? It's your beginning of your hybrid journey. Yeah, you might not be new at lifting, you might not be new at running, but you're new at trying to get better at both of them together. And the framework's great. You know, it's a fantastic place to start, but that's only going to get you so far. You got to be able to progress it. So the question is, well, how do we progress it? Well, the first thing we have to think about is stress. Our bodies improve and progress off of stress and various inputs. So for strength, that's neurological and muscular adaptations, right? So if we go into the gym and we lift the same weight, the same reps, the same rep schemes, we're not going to get any stronger. We have to introduce a new level of stress. This used to be like the surprise your body or shock your body kind of thing. And all that is just progressive overload on the strength side. On the running side of things, we've got the cardiovascular stress plus muscle endurance. And now we're trying to do both of them together, and they're competing. These stresses are competing for your recovery. So I think the most relevant real world example of this is you've added something to your running, either speed intervals, hill work, you're going longer distances. That's taxing your muscular endurance. It is also taxing and stressing your cardiovascular system, but for the strength side of things, that muscular endurance is extremely important. And it interferes with the recovery from, let's say squats. So if you're doing, heavy squats and you're adding volume or you're adding weight to your squats, those two things are competing and your legs are just going to be totally fried. You're not going to be able to recover from that sort of thing. So then what do we do? The whole point of hybrid training is to get stronger and faster, right? So if these are competing, then how do we work that out? And, hybrid training is not about doing more all at once. It's about intelligently managing the stress inputs that you're giving your body and your recovery. Success in hybrid training isn't random. It's about progression. Why does just not doing more work? And it comes down to a few things. So the first thing is recovery. Both modalities are competing for recovery, and you have to think of your recovery as a finite resource. You only get so much. It's not infinite. You can't just produce more recovery because you're doing more. That's not how your body works. The other thing is central nervous system fatigue. That starts to accumulate, and that affects everything. Tendon recovery is slower than muscle recovery. And when you run, especially if you're new to running, if you're a lifter and you just started running, you probably run like shit. That is going to wear on your tendons, on your joints. And the last one is that cardio fatigue can actually mask your strength. So what I mean by that is your body is adapting to this new cardiovascular stimulus, and you might not feel as strong. So you think, oh, I'm getting weaker. Yeah, you might be weaker in that particular session or that particular day, but your overall capacity is not weaker. It's just blunted at the moment. Okay, if you guys watch my other videos, I like rules. Not really. Rule number one for how to progress is going to be that you can only press one primary stressor at a time. Your body can only adapt strongly in one direction. Trying to maximally do everything all at one time is just wildly inefficient. Okay, in a real world training scenario, what does that look like? Well, so we're pressing on one stressor. We're trying to improve that. The other stressor, we're just going to maintain that one. So let's break this down into both your strength and your endurance side. On the strength side, let's say you want to press that. You want to get stronger. So that's something like add 5 pounds to your primary lifts, your squat, bench, deadlift, overhead press, maybe a barbell row, your big lifts. Add 5 pounds to your big lifts every week. On the run side, don't change a thing. So if you're following the beginner program, these should be all conversational, easy runs, just still base building. Maintain that, and then you're going to add 5 pounds to your lifts every week. Okay, let's flip this around. Let's say you want to progress your endurance. You want to push that stressor. So what we're going to do on the strength side is just leave that guy alone. And we're going to focus on the endurance stressor. So the easiest way to do this is on your long run day, just add a mile. Simple. The other thing you want to do is add a quality run, tempo runs, interval runs, fartlek runs. No matter how hard you want to push the one that you're supposed to be maintaining, don't leave it. That's good. If you have some fuel in the tank and some fire in the belly, ride that wave. So keep pressing one and leave the other one still. Remember, hybrid athletes, we don't ride two horses with one ass. Okay, rule number 2, you're gonna do 3 build weeks and 1 deload week. So let's say week 1 is your base, then week 2 you add that 5 pounds, week 3 you add that 5 pounds, week 4 you drop that back. I would recommend, dropping it back anywhere from 15 to 20%. So, you're not going to perpetually just keep adding 5 pounds, 5 pounds, 5 pounds, 5 pounds. You're going to do that just for a few weeks, and then you're going to back it off a little bit. Same thing on the running side. If you add, you start at, running 3 miles, you go 4, 5, and back that bad boy down. The idea of a deload week is you take it when you don't have to. I think Jim Wendler said this, is that the deload week is not there because you need it. It's there so you don't need it. So moral of the story is don't be afraid of the deload week. The deload week will not make you lose your fitness. It's actually going to help you unlock your fitness. All right, and then we come to rule number 3, and this is the good old quality over quantity. What does that look like? Well, let's talk about some scenarios. So on the lifting side, like I said, we're adding 5 pounds. It's a lot better to just add 5 pounds to your major compound lifts than it is to add 4 more accessory movements to try and bring up your squat. And on the endurance side, it's better to add quality runs, like I was talking about before, than it is to just dump a bunch of mileage. So that's why I recommend only add 1 extra mile to your long run. Doesn't seem like a lot, but it will add up over time. And that lets you focus on your quality run, because those quality runs will pay you dividends and be able to prepare you for adding miles and miles and miles down the road. Adding extra mileage is not going to make you a better runner. Getting a better quality running form will make you a better runner, therefore enabling you to run more miles without getting jacked up. So quality over quantity in both modalities. Okay, we got the rules out of the way. Now, let's talk about some real world stuff. Let's talk about how do I even know when I should keep pushing or when I should back off. On the strength side of things, the easiest way to do this is if you're still hitting all those reps, if you've been adding 5 pounds and you're still hitting all those reps and you feel like you've got 1 to 2 still in the tank, your RPE is somewhere around like 7 or 8 with all those compound movements, then yeah, you can keep going. On the run side of things, if you've added that quality run, you've been adding that 1 extra mile to your long runs, and your heart rate isn't wildly out of control, your resting heart rate is at a normal place, your sleeping is good, and you're not just overly beat up in the legs and body, then yeah, just keep doing that. Okay, so we know how to keep going. How do we know when it's time to pump the brakes a little bit and kind of chill? Well, on the strength side, that's if you start missing lifts, right? If you're supposed to do 10 reps, but you can only do 8 and it's a struggle, well, that's a sign. On the running side, if your heart rate is wildly high compared to what it should be on an easy run, then yeah, that's probably a sign that it's time to pull back a little bit on the endurance side of things. The other thing that you want to pay attention to is your leg fatigue. Do your legs feel heavy? Then that's another sign that hey, you know what? It's time to back off a little bit. The most important thing for hybrid athletes to wrap their head around is to manage and understand the signals of fatigue. Your body is going to start giving you some of these signals before progress stalls. So it's really important that you're listening to your body, which I hate because sometimes you have to push your body to do stuff it doesn't want to do. But in this case, you really have to pay attention to your recovery metrics, your sleep quality, and stuff like that, because that's going to fall off a little bit before your actual performance starts to decline. So when you start seeing these signs, it's a sign. Progressing in hybrid training is just simply a conversation with recovery. If you want this whole system laid out for you just in like a nice simple PDF, I don't know, I'll probably put it there. It looks like a nice spot. Really simple, really easily laid out, color coded. Have fun. Okay, let's talk a little bit about expectations and expectations within your progression. And I'm just going to say it, it's going to be slow. That's kind of the thing when you're doing two things at once. And the thing with hybrid training is you have to be strategic and not emotional. You know, we all want to be faster. We all want to be stronger. We want it right now. That's just not how it works. There's no magic bullet. It's just time, consistency, and solid effort. Hybrid training just really does reward consistency and strategy. It's not like just a simple follow this program like you could do for running or for lifting individually. You really have to be strategic with it. And, you know, like all the other rules in this video, if you stick with that stuff, you will get stronger and you will get faster. You have to be patient and it takes time. All right, let's have a little fun in the comments. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for sticking in there. If you're stalling on your strength training, type strength. If you're stalling on your running, type running, and I'll hop in the comments. Let's diagnose some stuff. Let's have some fun. Let's talk about it. As always, guys, I appreciate you tuning into the video. And remember, lift big, but live bigger. I'll catch you in the next video.